So the other day I worked on a video and I put it out and it absolutely flopped. And it was about why you're still stuck at 1-3. One of the things that I always believed and I see over and over again with my clients, with my friends, with other poker players is those who are good at poker can explain their decisions really well. And those who can't don't make any money. The video was about why you're still stuck at 1-3, and it really comes down to that one fact. You bet, you fold, the sizings that you pick. If you can't really tell me in granular detail why you're making those decisions, you're pretty much acting randomly and guessing randomly. So I put out the video and it flopped. It was terrible. It was my worst performing video. Now, I'm a poker player and a poker coach. And in a previous life, I was a pilot. I don't know anything about YouTube. So given that I want people to see my videos so I can help them improve their game, I started putting my marketing and YouTube video hat on and thinking about it. And it really comes down to this. Yeah, I think everyone knows to some degree that making better decisions leads to better poker results. And when I ask them, what are you thinking about? They're really trying to answer me those questions, but they don't even know what to think about. So I sat down on my computer and I decided that I'm going to make a list of all the things that one could possibly think about in any given poker hand. And to my surprise, the list was quite long. I'll put it this way. I've been playing poker for 23 years. And until I put this list together, I didn't even realize how many things there are to think about, to calculate, to take into account when you're playing poker, much less how they work together and how each lever pulls on the next to make the final decision the most optimal one. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what those are. And I really try to not overwhelm you, but it's quite a long list. It's about 30 items, and I've excluded some other ones that are not as important because the list can get longer. But I promise you this, if you go through this list with me and you work on this list, the items on this list, and you perfect how you think about every decision on every decision point on this list, your game will dramatically improve. And in the end, if you watch to the end, I'll show you an easy way on how to do it live at the table so you can make these decisions as fast as possible, as productively as possible, to where your win rate will increase dramatically. Let's get right to it. So in this video, if you watch my other videos, I'm going to choose a different format. Normally, I write a whole script and I read it into the camera without any graphics. And some of you don't like it. Some of you love it. But in this video, I've made a presentation with you and I'm going to take you through it. Right here, let's begin. You're about to see everything that a winning player thinks about in a hand. Well, almost everything, because otherwise the list would get too long. Winning players can explain why they make every decision. Losing players can't. And I made that video about it, and you can go watch that video if you like. But essentially, like I said, it comes down to being able to explain in full detail why they made that decision. In my book, The Poker Delusion, I talk about this. Most players think about their cards, but it's not the most important thing in poker. Poker is about decisions. Every decision is simply an attempt to answer one question. What action makes me the most amount of money against this opponent in this situation? That's it. In short, what is the most plus EV decision I can make? If you can't answer that, you're gambling. And we don't want to be gambling because poker is a business. The more precisely you answer it, the more money you're going to make. It's as simple as that. And that's my entire framework. PIPO, precision in, profits out. Some of the things that we need to think about when we're making decisions are situation, opponents, hands, board, strategy, and most importantly of all, what makes the most money over thousands of repetitions? If this situation that I'm in was repeated 1,000 times, what would make the most money for me in the long run? And we call that a plus EV decision in poker. We don't care about the outcome of a singular hand, obviously. We care about the outcome of this decision in this spot if I had the opportunity to repeat it thousands of times. Number one, situational awareness. Before you even think about your cards, you need to think about, what game am I playing? What are the stakes here? Is this table a loose table or a tight table? Is this table a passive or aggressive table? Who are the weakest players at this table? Who are the strongest players at this table? Is this a table that's changing? Maybe it was tight before, it's going to be loose now. Maybe it was loose and aggressive before, it's going to become very nitty now. Maybe the players are very novice now, but there's some regulars that are coming in that are more skilled, and the conversation of poker is going to get more fluent and more detailed. Number two, opponent analysis. Who am I exactly facing in this hand? That includes a lot of things. Player type, passive or aggressive, thinking reg, ego driven, scared money, stack sizes, stack size psychology. Who's playing too tight? Who's playing too loose? Who's a calling station? Who's a recreational player? Who's capable of bluffing? Who's capable of laying down premium hands? Who's winning? Who's losing? Who's tight? Who's loose? Who's a nit? Who's a maniac? Who's emotional? Who's tilting? Who's capable of folding? What's your image at the table? Number three, position. Where am I? Am I in early position? Am I in a middle position? Am I in a late position? Am I on the button? Am I on the small blind? Am I on the big blind? Every single position has a different strategy, regardless of your cards. And then you need to ask yourself, do I have position? Will I act first? Will I act last? Who has positional advantage? These all matter. And we need to be able to understand and dissect all of these factors every single time we go play. Number four, effective stack size. Essentially, how many big blinds is this hand effective? What's the SPR? How deep are we? Are we playing super deep? Are we playing medium stacks? Are we playing a short stack strategy? Can stacks realistically go in? Is this an opponent that's going to pay me off if I hit my speculative hands? Even if there's money behind, is he capable of putting the money in with a mediocre hand that's going to make it worth my while to risk hitting my hand? That's an important question. Number five, what's my image? How do they see me, my opponents? How do they see me? Am I appearing tight, loose, honest? Have I hero called recently? What's the respect level that I'm supposed to get or be getting right now at this table? Do I seem aggressive? Do I seem passive? Have I been bluffing recently? Am I winning? Am I losing? All of those affect your decisions about how you're being perceived and how you should play that to your advantage. Number six, preflop logic. Before entering a pot, now we look at our hand. Is this hand profitable? Should I be calling with it? Should I be opening with it? Should I be 3-betting? Should I be 4-betting? Should I fold it? And why? And then, am I doing this for value or am I doing it for bluff? Am I trying to isolate a weaker player? Am I trying to exploit a weaker player? Am I doing it for protection or am I trying to steal? Number seven, ranges. Never think about one hand. Think in ranges. What's my range? What's my opponent's range? How does every action change those ranges? What hands remain? What hands disappeared? What hands got stronger? What hands got weaker? Number eight, range advantage. Whose range likes this board more? Mine or theirs? Who's more likely to have sets? Who's more likely to have overpairs? Who's more likely to have draws? Who's more likely to have the nuts? All of those matter every time you make a decision. Not advantage. Who has more nuts? That's a big question. Who has the near nuts? Who has strong value? Who has a polarized range? Number 10, board texture. This is where you study the flop. Is this a dry board or is this a wet board? Is it a paired board? Does this board change often? Is it connected or is it disconnected? Is it monotone or is it rainbow? What's the high cards on this board? What's the low cards on this board? Is it dynamic or is it static? Every single one of these factors you have to take in account when you're making a decision. And how can you do that if you're not even thinking about them and you're not even aware of them? Number 11, equity. Where do I stand? Am I ahead? Am I behind? Am I dominating or am I crushed? How much equity do I actually have and how do I calculate it? Is it a coin flip or am I just drawing, hoping to hit outs? If I'm behind, how many outs do I have? Are they clean or are they dirty? Are my outs discounted or will they counterfeit me and cost me a huge pot? Number 13, what's my pot odds? What's the price to continue? How do I calculate it? Please let me know. There's just so much to know. Number 14, what's the equity required for me to move forward? How much equity do I actually need? Do I have enough equity? I don't know. Number 15, implied odds. If I hit, can I win more? How much more? Will this opponent actually pay me off or is he going to realize and slow down? Number 16, reverse implied odds. If I hit, can I still lose? Essentially, will I lose if I make a strong hand that becomes second best? Number 17, fold equity. If I bet, how often will they fold? Are they actually capable of holding some portion of their value range? Number 18, expected value. In the long term, does this action make money? Not today, forever. Number 19, frequencies. How often should I bluff or call? How often should I fold? How often should I value bet? How often should I check in this spot? How often does the villain bluff or fold or call or raise? Number 20, betting objectives. Every bet needs one purpose. Am I betting for value or am I betting to deny equity? Am I betting for fold equity? Am I betting for information, even though you rarely should ever do that? Am I betting for protection, even though I don't really believe in that anymore? That's an older concept, but still is in play to some degree. Am I trying to polarize my hand? Is this value or is this a merged bet? Let me just give you something enormously valuable right now, right here. If you don't know why you're betting, don't bet. Don't bet. Don't put money in the pot if you don't know why you're doing it. That alone is going to save you hundreds and thousands of dollars. Number 21, bet sizing. Why this size? These days, people really tend to have one of three sizes in live poker. A third, half, or three-quarter pot. That's it. But you know what? Those are just auto-clicking. You need to know exactly why you're sending each one of your dollars into battle for you. One of the ways I like to put it to my students, and if you're one of my students, you know this, think of every single chip in your stack, every single dollar as a soldier, and you're a general. You're sending them to war, and some of them may not come back. So if you lose a big, massive pot, you need to call every single family of every single dollar, and they're going to say, General, why did you send my son or the daughter out in this fight? And you need to be able to tell them exactly why you sent them out in a situation that they didn't come back. And let me tell you, they're not going to be very happy if you say, it just felt like the right thing to do at the time. They're going to need a little bit more reasoning than that. So prepare yourself for those calls, for those conversations when you are sending your soldiers out. And the best way to prepare for it is to know exactly why you're sending them out to war and fight for you. So should I pick a small size bet? Should I pick a medium size bet? Should I pick a large size bet? Should I overbet? Should I jam? What is this size trying to accomplish? Those are the questions that you need to think about every time you're in a hand. Number 22, storytelling. It's an art as old as time. Does my line make sense in this spot? Have I told a good story about what I'm trying to represent? Can I credibly represent this hand? Would I play value this way? Or does my bluff tell the same story as my value does? Number 23, villain story. What are they telling me? What story are they singing into my ear? Does their line make sense? Are they polarized? Are they merged? Are they representing value? Are they representing bluffs? Would they actually play the nuts like this? Number 24, population tendencies. Forget theory. How do these players in this room, in this night, are actually playing? What's their live tendencies? What's the player pool tendencies? What's the casino tendencies? What's their local tendencies? Let me tell you, as someone who's played all over the world, I've played in North America, I'm playing in Mexico right now, I've played in Africa, I've played in multiple different European countries with different cultures and different poker culture. I played in Germany, France, England, Spain. I played in the Middle East, believe it or not. I played in Asia. I played in Singapore. I played in Macau. I played in China. I played in Thailand. I played in Vietnam. Every single cultural difference is a factor at the poker table. And these are the things that you need to be thinking about. A European nit doesn't exactly play like a guy in Mexico City, as the guy in Mexico City doesn't exactly play like the drunk guy in Borgata in Atlantic City, or the Borgata guy doesn't play just like the guy in Singapore. Culture matters. Number 25, exploits. What mistakes are they making? This is key for live poker. If you want to succeed in live poker, this is absolutely essential to understand and be able to analyze and react to. Exploitation in online play also matters. But if you want to be successful in live cash game scenarios, this is the key to understand and to master. And this is exactly what I work with my private coaching clients and in my masterclass, the Delusion Killer Masterclass. What mistakes are my opponents making? To understand this, first, you need to understand and have a working knowledge of GTO. That's the baseline. You need to understand where your opponents and how often your opponents are deviating from the GTO baseline. Are they calling too much? Are they bluffing too much? Are they too passive? Are they too honest? Are they folding too much? Are they bluffing too little? And in live games, that tends to be a big one. Or are they way too emotional? Are they happy because they're way up tonight? Or are they down 3 buy-ins? All of those matter in live poker games or in any poker game, but especially in live poker games. And once I know what their mistakes are, and once I know how they're exploitable, how do I actually punish those mistakes? These are the things that will make your win rate skyrocket. These are the things that I work with my clients daily in my coaching sessions or my masterclass. Number 26, risk management. And this is the boring part that most poker players never think about, but it's critical to your success now and in the long run. What's the worst case scenario? How much variance am I exposing myself to? I know we all hate variance. Variance is an absolute bitch, but I don't think you guys realize how much control you have on the variance that you're exposing yourself to. You don't control variance, but you do control how much you're allowing yourself to be exposed to variance. What about tournaments? If you play poker, I'm sure you've played a tournament here or there. Even though it's not my specialty, it's not a game that I like. I think tournaments are terrible way to improve your win rate or to try to play poker. I'd rather poke myself with a dull needle right in the eye than to play any tournaments. But even I have been known to play some good tournaments that have really great overlays. But if you're going to do it, you better know how it's affecting you in terms of risk. What's the best case scenario? How does playing this hand in this game at these stakes against these opponents is going to impact my bankroll? That's an important question. That's a critical question to be able to answer because not all games are created equal. A high variance 1-3 game can be absolutely detrimental to your bankroll than, let's say, a more tame 2-5 game. You need to be able to understand these factors to understand the risk that you're exposing yourself to in every game that you choose to play. You just can't walk into a room and sit down at any table that has a 1-3 or a 2-5 sign over it. You need to be able to game select. You need to be able to seed select. Number 27. Psychological factors. And this is where everyone focuses on poker. And psychological factors don't just affect your opponents. You're not just trying to read the psychological state of your opponents and determine their behavior. You're also responsible for understanding your psychological behavior in any given spot, in any given situation. Is tilt a factor? Is revenge a factor? What about fear? What about scared money? What about greed? What about fatigue? Those long hours that we put in sometimes. I've been known to put in 36, 48 hours at a table, and I need to understand, is it affecting my game? I'm sure it is, but is it affecting my game more or less than my opponents? For example, if they're getting drunk and having a good time, their performance is decreasing at a much more rapid rate than mine. Even though mine may be coming lower, maybe theirs is even lower than mine. What about ego? Are there distractions at the table? Is there a football game on the TV above the table? Is everyone on their phone? And how can I use all of that to my advantage? Number 28, future streets. Big part that nobody even thinks about while they're in a hand. Most people just focus on the hand and the street that they're in, but they have no plan for the future. Don't just think about this street. Think ahead. Ask yourself these questions. What happens if I bet? What happens if I raise? What happens if certain cards improve my hand? What happens if certain cards improve my opponent's range? What happens if I get called? What happens if I get checked to? What's my turn and river plan, especially if stacks are super deep? Number 29, decision review. And this is something that nobody does. Before acting, ask yourself these questions. What assumptions am I making? Which assumptions are somewhat factual? Which assumptions are guesses? Am I making the highest EV decision? That's the fundamental question that you must be able to answer every time. And considering all of those factors, we come to the most fundamental question that we must answer. What is the most profitable action based on all the best information I have right now? Always, always, always ask yourself, what makes me the most money over thousands of repetitions of this same exact spot? So here you have it, folks. 30 things that every professional poker player considers in making decisions in every single hand that they play. The list is long, and it can be even longer. And there's a lot of things to think about. You need something that helps you process all of this information, think about all of these factors in a way that is rapid and effective and works under pressure in a live cash game scenario. How many of these items do you actively think about when you're in any given hand? Obviously, not all of these apply to every single hand, but I bet you at least 10 of these items can overlap on any given hand. So if it's under 10, the number that you come up with, you're gambling. You're not playing. This is where precision comes in. Having a decision-making process that works is absolutely essential to being able to make money in poker and having a better experience playing. Nobody likes losing, even if you're not doing this for professional reasons. We are there to win. We are there to perform our best. And if you're just randomly taking shots at every pot, randomly taking action that you cannot explain, you're just guessing. And those guesses can be quite expensive. So this is exactly what I work with my students in my private coaching and in my course, the Delusion Killer Masterclass. And it works. And I'll prove to you that it works without any risk whatsoever. I offer a free one-on-one coaching session, and in that session, we'll analyze a couple of hands together, and I'll show you exactly where your leaks are coming from in those examples, and I'll give you actionable steps to fix them. And really, the problem does come down to this. Nobody can consciously think through 30 different concepts every hand. Eventually, the checklist has to become a process, and that's exactly what PIPO is. Precision in, profits out. Even professionals can't think about all of those items in every single hand, but they don't think about less things. They have a process, they have a system, they have a strategy. And this is where PIPO, my method, my strategy comes in. If I sat down behind you while you played, I could probably identify at least 3 or 4 of the biggest leaks costing you majority of your money. And once those leaks are fixed, your entire decision-making process becomes dramatically simpler. And that's exactly what I do with my clients in my private coaching sessions or in my course, the Delusion Killer Masterclass. As I wrote in my book, The Poker Delusion, an untrained gut is not a strategy. It's an expensive feeling. It's an expensive guess. So I want to give you an opportunity to try to understand where your game needs improvement and fix some of your leaks with absolutely zero risk. This is why I offer my free one-on-one coaching session to those who are interested in improving their game dramatically and rapidly. It's absolutely zero cost to you. I sit down with you for one session. It could be anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 hours. And we go through multiple hands from your games, your previous games that you played with me directly. And we go and dissect them. And I'll show you where your leaks are and how to fix them and put a game plan together to take your game from where it is today to where you want to be. If you want to try and find out for yourself, go to vintonpoker.com/apply or click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen right now. And if you want an absolutely free copy of this presentation in a PDF format, click the link in the description below and download it right now. And if this video has been helpful, help me spread this message, give it a like and share it with someone else who's interested in becoming a crusher just like you. Your support helps this channel grow, and it means a lot to me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. As always, I'm your friend, Vinton. GG.